Welcome back to another video, guys. We have another really important Palantir update today. So we've made a few of these over the last few weeks here. Palantir at the current time that I'm recording is up 3.41%, but there's another stock in relation to Palantir that's up at the current time that I'm recording over 40% right now. And we did briefly talk about this stock in one of the previous videos. Now, there is going to be a little bit of a disclaimer about this stock here, guys, once we end up getting to it, but we have two other very, very key pieces of news to discuss with this company as well, along with our normal technical breakdown. So guys, before we go any further, if you wouldn't mind dropping a like on this video here, dropping a comment, hitting that subscribe button, and make sure you turn those notifications on so that you're notified when any of these new videos come out. But without further ado, guys, let's roll the intro and get right into it. Now, guys, before we go any further, I do have that special announcement again that you guys all get your first month completely free on trade1348.com with code GAINZ, G-A-I-N-Z, all of their proprietary algorithms, the predictive algorithms, the alert systems, the real-time unusual options activity, all of the 25+ learning curriculum videos that can walk you through knowing nothing about trading, all the way up to being an expert trader. Now, remember, team, I do have that interview coming out for you guys later this week with one of our members, 19 years old, and has made over $80,000 in the last month. Make sure you guys have notifications turned on for that one. And again, this offer is not going to stay around forever, obviously, but if you do want to lock in your first month completely free to come try out all of the amazing tools and learning and learning resources that we have to offer you guys, make sure you guys check out that link down below. But let's get into Palantir right here very quickly and go over a little bit of the technical breakdown on this thing. So the current time that I'm recording, this stock's up about 3.22%. Now, we did go over yesterday that call position that I had that expires in August, and those are currently sitting at the current time that I'm recording about 139% in the green. I just checked right here. Yesterday, they were up a little bit over 100%, which is really, really solid gains. Did put my money where my mouth was right around here, and then we saw that nice move to the upside. Now, if we're looking at this thing technically, the RSI is getting a little bit cooked here. We're sitting right around 73 on the daily time frame. And again, we are consistently breaking these 52-week highs and moving up pretty aggressively. The one thing that I want to tell you guys, though, is we are getting into earnings season in general for the overall market. So that is going to cause a little bit more volatility. If you guys have done the research into this company, understood some of the things that we are talking about in these videos here, well, any sort of price fluctuations in the short term probably aren't going to bother you all that much. And as you know, dollar cost averaging is going to be your friend. But remember, nothing that I say in these videos is financial advice. I'm just here to give you guys more information about the stocks that you are interested in a way that is easier to understand than if you were to just go out there and try to find this information for yourself. Now, looking at the daily here, moving down to the 4-hour time frame, again, we're seeing a pretty similar story. We saw these 4-hour traffic lights here, really, really ripping this thing back to the upside. And again, we definitely could be in for a little bit of a pullback depending on what happens with the overall market. Right now, the SPY is sitting right above 450 at around 452, 453. And with Powell coming out next week and the market in general pricing in another 25 basis point rate hike, this next Fed meeting next week is going to be pretty important to set the tone into the rest of the quarter. So just be prepared for that, guys. Again, we are seeing some really awesome price action here. It'd be great to see this thing above 20. But for those of you guys that are long-term investors, if it hits 20 in the short term and you aren't looking to sell for a little bit higher or after this company is able to generate more value and grow, well, again, these short-term price fluctuations don't really mean a whole lot. Now, the first thing that I want to talk about here with you guys is when Palantir is going to be releasing their earnings, because we did briefly talk about this yesterday, but we do have a confirmed date now. Palantir announces the date of second quarter 23 earnings release and webcast. So that is going to be Monday, August 7th. What have we said many times in the past is going to be the catalyst for Palantir to make aggressive moves to the upside? Earnings. Does that mean that you should go out willy-nilly buy like weekly call options on some of these stocks here or on Palantir because of their earnings? No, Absolutely not. But when we go over and take a look at Palantir and you go back and watch some of the videos that I've made about their earnings in the past, a lot of these are looking pretty good, and earnings is what set off this most previous run that we've seen on this stock, all the way down in the sub 10 range at the $7 range, all the way up to where we're currently trading at about 18. Let me bring the screen back up for you guys right here. There you go. We can see that it was all the way down here. Earnings right here was on May 8th. And then we saw this thing go on an absolutely massive run, and we have that confirmed date right here of Palantir's second quarter earnings on Monday, August 7th. So the next thing that I want to talk about with you guys is we recently talked about a strategic investment that Palantir has made in Rubicon, and how some certain analysts were saying that, well, Palantir is just buying revenue, and you guys heard me say, well, I don't really care. It's more revenue, and they have some upside potential if they're able to generate more value for their customers in this company, Rubicon. And when we take a look over here, this stock is currently up 47% today. And this is where that little bit of a disclaimer comes in. A lot of you guys that are new to the market and are going to see these types of stocks running this aggressively are going to think, oh my God, I want to buy this thing. It's up 51%. I'm never buying this. Just letting you guys know right now, not a fan of penny stocks, not a fan of small market cap stocks. You guys can do whatever you want to do. It's got a market cap right now of about 100 million. I think when we talked about it, I think it was yesterday, it had a market cap of like 67 million. So a very significant increase in their market cap. I don't mess around with penny stocks. Good for Palantir for getting these. I believe it was 6 million shares in addition of this company before it went on this massive run. Good for them. Not something that I'm going to be participating in, but definitely something to keep an eye on for this company going forward. Now, guys, the last thing that I want to touch upon before I send you guys on your way this evening, this morning, whenever you guys are watching this, is a new deal that Palantir has entered into. Bloodhound Enterprises from Spectre Ops, available to government agencies through Palantir FedStart offering. Palantir Technologies today announced a new partnership with Spectre Ops to provide the government sector with Spectre Ops Bloodhound Enterprise solution through Palantir's FedStart offering. Through this partnership, Palantir FedStart, a SaaS offering that helps accelerate federal go-to-market by enabling companies to run their products within Palantir's secure and accredited environment, will facilitate Spectre Ops to deliver its enterprise-grade defense solution to government agencies by leveraging Palantir's experience working with the government and expertise managing secure cloud software. FedStart supports companies to be FedRAMP and IL5 compliant very quickly and can enable accreditation in weeks at a fraction of the cost of traditional paths. Again, what is Palantir's main business model when you think about it? Using all of the data that these companies have and making it much more efficient for them to proceed. Now, is this some sort of earth-shattering contract that they've signed? No. But it's another really, really good step in the right direction for them to kind of expand their business out and continue to generate more revenue over the long run, guys. So when we think about this stock here, going back and kind of putting this all in a nice little bow for everybody, look, it's been on a really, really nice run. We have seen some pullbacks that I know a lot of you guys were a little bit worried about. But again, with the overall market here, we do have to realize that there could be a little bit of, let's say, turbulence and a little bit more volatility coming in the short term, depending on what happens with earnings season and depending what happens at the Fed, whether or not they're going to do that additional 25 basis point rate hike. So right now, the market is in general pricing in a 25 basis point rate hike next week. And we can actually take a look at this over here. Little bit of a quick thing for you guys. Again, this is a little bit off topic, but definitely is going to be something that we need to keep a lookout for. So right now, the current target rate for the federal funds rate is 5% to 5.25%. And there's a 97.3% probability that we're going to get that 25 basis point hike next week. But if we look at the target rates, remember right here, 525 to 550. If we look at the target rate going into the end of the year, well, there's about a 58% probability that we stay there. So in the last Fed meeting, they said, well, we could get 2. Well, right now, the market is really just pricing in 1. So that would be something that would be relatively bullish for the market, which could help stocks like Palantir. If we start to see that light at the end of the tunnel when the Fed could potentially start backing off some of these rate increases. But again, that's going to be dove into a little bit more next week. So guys, that's really going to wrap up this video here. Thank you guys for clicking on this video, guys. I appreciate it. Make sure you guys drop a like if you don't mind on your way out. Drop a comment down below. And again, make sure that you guys are hopping into trade1348.com for your first month free with code GAINS. Other than that, guys, have a great rest of your time here and peace.